All right, now that you've learned your great fundamentally sound stroke and that you've proven that you can aim and start the ball in line on a straight putt, we need to obviously learn how to read the greens and see our lines. And I have a little training ritual here that we're going to use for breaking putts. It's the same one I've given Charlie Hoffman and Kevin Chappell. And what we're going to do is this little dot-to-dot drill. Let me show you how it works. It's very simple. All you're going to do is take a Sharpie. You're going to start out with a little dot on the green. I have a breaking putt here, reasonably severe breaking putt from about 6 feet. All right, step 2. I visualize my line and I pick my starting line. I'm going to mark the starting line with a little T-hole out about 1.5 feet in front of my ball. So I'm picturing, and we got to obviously do a little trial or error. I see this mark right here, make a little hole, is my starting line. Now, next step is just to check to see if I'm right or not. And if I roll it over it and it goes in, I know I've read it correctly. If I roll over it and it misses left, I know I need to play more. So this is just kind of a little trial and error one. And I'm watching, I'm not even making a real stroke. Okay, so that rolled right over the dot and it lipped out on the high side. So I am now going to dot the perfect line with my Sharpie. I'm going to make that mark just underneath it. All right, or a little low of it. And I'm reasonably confident that that's the right spot, the right starting line to hit. All right, now, next up, I have my TPM rod that I've detached. I have my 2 dots on the green, and I'm going to take out a T, and I'm just going to measure and get this rod exactly the same distance from each dot using my T. Check that one. Check this one. Perfect. Now this rod is lined up perfectly on my start line. Okay. I'm going to line my ball. And now here comes the important part. It's the eye scan. It's called a saccades. You're supposed to visualize 3 points. The ball, the start line, which is this dot, and the entry point of the ball into the hole. In this case, I know it's coming in, the ball's coming in at about, oh, it's about 4:30. Okay, so I get my 3 dots, ball, start line, entry point. I hold that picture in my mind, I walk in. When I set up, because of the rod, I have perfect confirmation that I'm lined up at that dot. Now I want to scan through those dots from this view. So ball, start line, entry point, then just make my motion. And it's a fact that I read that perfectly, all right? It's not, the key is not that the ball went in. The key is that I'm scanning my eyes and my brain's getting a steady diet of the truth. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 from this right to left putt. Obviously the rod sits on the high side of the break here. That's 1. This is 2. Eye scan, confirmation on alignment. Eye scan into the hole, back and through. I pushed that putt. That was operator error. That's 100% me. Now, that's a great thing that happened. What if that happened regularly? What if I was making bad strokes? Well, then I get out my TPM, hook it to my putter, and relearn the sensation I need to do to make a good feeling stroke. I definitely got a little disconnected there with my hands, which is one of the great things that the TPM fixes. Eye scan. After 3 successful attempts, I'm going to move over and do a left to right. That was a much better stroke. Okay, so what I'm going to do now that I've done 3 successful ones, let's say, time to go over and do left to right. All right, once again, I've set this left to right up already, and if you go out on the tour on a Tuesday, you'll see Charlie Hoffman doing this exact drill. I have my ball, which there's a dot underneath, my start line, and I inserted a T into the cup into the entry point. So I get my visual from behind, I hold that picture, I have perfect confirmation that I'm lined up at my start line, and then it's just backing through past myself with the feeling that TPM gives me. Okay, so you know I've read that perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle through 3 right to left, 3 left to right, getting behind each one and walking in with that clear, committed focus. 3 right to left, 3 more left to right. After those 12 putts, we're going to sprinkle in 3 random balls, 3 random 6-footers where we have to do it without the guide. Remember, we go block practice first, random practice second, and we'll play a game last. So, same process. I would simply read it first, see my line, see my 3 dots, walk in and implement. So that is the 3rd step in your effective, efficient training program. It's really a no-brainer. If you want to learn more, go to IXIASports.com.